So conspiracy theories moving people toward fascism in America are on the rise. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So back when I was in college, I joined a group of other student activists who went and met with a gentleman called Chip Berlay. He was an expert on the rise of the right wing in America and how they'd been using conspiracy theories and fake stories to convert people to their cause. Now, mind you, this is back in the 80s, when George H.W. Bush was president, and Republicans looked like a bunch of moderates. I mean, they actually believed in democracy and NATO. Can you believe that? As it turns out, though, the warnings that Berlay and his organization were making about the rise of fascism in America were really prescient. And unfortunately, we've been seeing the chickens on his predictions coming home to roost. And unless we get serious about confronting this, it's only going to continue to get worse. I mean, remember Pizzagate? When the gunman showed up at the pizza parlor in Washington, D.C., that was supposedly a center for a cabal of child traffickers led by Hillary Clinton? Now, I get that Hillary Clinton might not be everybody's cup of tea, but at least let's be real here. Hillary Clinton is not a child trafficker. You might not like her position on tax policy, for example, or abortion, but to call her a child trafficker? Come on. And yet people believed it so much that a gunman actually showed up at the pizza parlor in Washington threatening to shoot people. But by comparison, those seem like the good old days. The latest on Twitter is a conspiracy theory that somehow the Obama's chef was murdered. Now, this is quite a stretch. I mean, I hate to remind people, but the Obamas are no longer in public life. And this chef was a close friend of their family. But common sense are unfortunately no guard against conspiracy theories. According to a study by the National Institutes of Health, the problem is that social media has become a means for disseminating conspiracy theories and false information. But as it turns out, this isn't a flaw in the system. This is the way the system is meant to operate. They know that conspiracy theories and crazy, wild falsehoods are much more addictive than actual news. So their algorithm is optimized to try to present that to the people who are most vulnerable to it. The result is that old-fashioned run-of-the-mill conspiracy theorists, people who believe in things like the aliens at Area 51 or the mob connections of JFK's killer, are alarmed by. They see these conspiracy theories turning into a pathway leading people to fascism. I mean, things as basic as wellness programs turn into a basis to try to radicalize people. You have to remember that the QAnon shaman, Jacob Hansley, considered himself an eco-fascist who is committed to eating healthy food and living a healthy lifestyle. And then you have Alex Jones, one of the leading conspiracy theorists, who told us that Sandy Hook never happened and is now paying the parents for that statement. Well, remember that he made his millions by selling vitamins? And then we have the whole child trafficking thing. I mean, right here we see how the Department of Justice has been out aggressively pursuing child traffickers, has become a swan song for unsuspecting people just concerned about child welfare. I mean, this movie, Sound of Freedom, which actually I almost went to see with my wife, hearing that it sounded like an interesting action movie, and who friends of ours went to see and enjoyed, turns out to be just one more way of spreading the false rumor that child sex trafficking is everywhere. Now, I don't want to diminish the threat that child sex trafficking represents, but what these right-wingers are doing is using that and people's concern about health and their children's safety in schools as ways to draw them into this QAnon fascist conspiracy life. A place where facts and reality don't matter, but that's the way they want it to be. Because when we simply do talk about facts and reality, most people prefer our side. So instead, they need to create this false narrative based upon conspiracy theories to draw unsuspecting people into a world that they never thought they would join. Well, if you want to see more about the legal travails of Alex Jones and others of his ilk, check out this video over here. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.